Good morning, everybody. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in the data center. Oh, coming to you this morning after a week-long vacation with my wife. Made a video about that last week from the Redwoods. It was a really great time. Thank you for all the anniversary wishes. She deserves all the credit because she's the one that puts up with me. So isn't that the way it always is? So coming to this morning, kind of quite a bit's happened this week, but not a whole lot, but a little bit. First off, I want to come with a story of, well, I'm kind of pointing the finger at somebody and at two people, one an application developer and one at me. So let me start from the beginning. I was peacefully sleeping yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I get a call middle of the night. So I thought it was the middle of the night. Turns out it was just shortly before my alarm was about to go off anyway. I get the call, take the call. It's one of our application support people. He says, "We're having problems with one of the servers." I said, "Okay." He says, "And we need you to take a look at it." I said, "Okay." She goes, "Yeah. Yeah." I said, "Okay. Does this server have a name? Can you tell me which server it is?" "Oh, yeah. I can look that up for you." "Okay, well, why don't you do that?" And she goes, "Well, here's the problem. It's one of our physical servers. So we've got a lot of different servers here. So our number one way to have servers here is the Nutanix. We've got 2 racks full of Nutanix servers here. And then we've got some physical servers, such as these down here. Oops, sorry, getting my finger in the way. These guys down there. And when she said it's a physical server, that's the first thing I thought. Like, oh no, it's not that big Dell EMC array. And we've got more physical servers down there. And we've got more physical servers here. And we've got more physical servers right here. So making sure we don't have anything silly like the IP addresses on the front of these things. We actually do. I'm glad I moved the camera quickly. I'm going to come back over here and continue on with the story. So I said, well, if it's a physical, if you can't control it, then I'm going to have to come in. And she said, yeah. I said, well, that's not going to happen in 5 minutes. She says, well, how long is it going to take you to get here? 40. It takes me about 40 minutes to get up, get dressed, get out the door, and get to work. She goes, well, I live closer. Can you tell me what to do? I said, well, if I knew what the problem was, I could tell you what to do, but I don't know what the problem is. Okay, so I get in the truck and drive down here, and I get in, and I'm kind of walking around looking at these servers, and looked at them all. Almost everything looked normal, except for this guy right down here. This guy, I don't think there's any incriminating evidence on it. Nah, it's all good. Server right here. That beautiful green LED was amber. I'm not a server guy, but I know it should be green. I thought, okay, there's something going on with that server. I need to. It's obviously powered off at some point, and I don't know if it's still powered off or if it's in the process of coming up, and it's sitting at a BIOS prompt. Press 1. System time is wrong. Press 1 to continue. I didn't know what it was. So I wanted to get we have what we call a crash cart here. I wanted to get the crash cart connected to it. The crash cart's right over here. We have one. Get the camera set. Ooh, there we go. It even says crash cart right on it. So, and what it is, just a laptop. It's got some software on it that connects to this guy. Little StarTech. I don't know if you want to know what it is. That's what it is. Take a picture of that. Hopefully that's not backwards. I'm using the front camera. It's basically a little USB device. It's got some software. You plug this VGA connector in, plug the USB connector into the server, and you get yourself like a keyboard, monitor, and mouse on the server through the software on the laptop. So I go to log into the laptop, and first thing I noticed is it has no network connectivity. Great. So how long has it been since I've logged into this laptop? A year, maybe more. I don't know what password I was using a year ago. We change them every 90 days. So I actually change mine every month. So there's no telling what it was. So couldn't get logged into that laptop. Excuse me. I had to run back out to my car where I keep my work laptop in case I have to log on at home. Brought it in, set it on top of that laptop, and proceeded to install the software for that, which luckily is still available. That's kind of an old adapter, but luckily I think they still sell them, so the software is still available. Got it installed, plugged it into the server, and blank screen. So just to make sure, I plugged that guy into a few other servers, and yeah, I could see the screen image come up, and I could send it a Control-Alt-Delete, log on, and all that good stuff. So I moved it back to that server, and I said, okay, it's simply powered off. That's all it is. So came over and pressed the button. The laptop was back there in back of the rack, back there, around the corner here, around the corner. The laptop was sitting back there, so I ran around the corner and I watched it boot up. I said, okay, yeah, it's booting normally. Yeah, this guy was like the pinnacle of firmware boot up messages. Back when I was a server guy, you just got a lot of text. Maybe you'd get like a little textual diagram of how your RAID array was set up or something like that. And now, you kids don't know how good you got it. I'm sorry, I just was kind of amazed at the BIOS boot up now. It's all graphical. It's all these splashy, flashy screens telling you what it's doing. I thought, well, that's taking up a lot of. Some marketing guy must have thought of that. So it's like an Hewlett Packard, the Dell. I don't know. I can't tell. I think it's HP. Yeah, it's ProLiant. It's an HP. Couldn't read it. So all of this is like an HP marketing thing with all these BIOS boot ups. Now, power your data center with ProLiant. So anyway, I watched it boot up. Finally came to the login. Finally got the Windows screen coming up. Please stand by while we apply updates. So right then and there, I knew exactly what had happened. So the developer that called me, she just kept saying, we're having a problem with the server. She didn't give me any other info. I told her to send me an email. I didn't even check the email for the server name. I went back and double checked just to make sure, and she'd even send me a different server name. So, but this was the one. So, and then all of a sudden, my Microsoft Teams, she all of a sudden sends me a message. Oh, I can ping the server now. So, okay, I guessed right. That was the server with the wrong name. Anyway, So start booting up, still saying applying your updates. And she says, "Oh, I can get in." I said, "Okay, well, I can get in via RDP." Okay, well, just wait, don't do anything. It's still applying updates. Just hang out. I'll let you know when it says it's all done. Oh yeah. Okay, good. Um, so anyway, she still wouldn't tell me what happened. I said, "So what was going on with the server this morning?" She goes, "Well, we were updating it, and then I don't know what went wrong." Well, I think we all know what went wrong. For those of you who don't know what went wrong, maybe there's some Linux people out there that have never touched a Windows server, but I'm pretty sure we all have. Even though I'm supposed to be a network guy, we never get away from the server guys. I'd say probably 90% of the network guys watching this video also have to manage the servers. I'm kind of a rarity in that I don't have to manage servers and the network at the same time. I'm dedicated solely to network. My buddy Leo over there is dedicated solely to servers, and that's just the way this hospital works. So what happens when it's time to apply Windows updates? Many times you will get a message saying, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it emblazoned in my head, but you'll get a message that says apply updates and restart, or apply updates and shut down. Which you guys tell me, what is the reason to apply updates and shut down? Because all that does is invite network admin guys that are on call to get called in the middle of the night to come back out and power on a server that's been inadvertently shut down. So anyway, that's what happened. So then later, and it's so what this server does. It's a database server, which sounds important, and it is. So it's basically the database server that's the back end for our radiology system. So you can't take an X-ray without opening up an X-ray record, which is stored in the database. If you don't take an X-ray, somebody comes in for an accident victim, a trauma victim, we can't do anything because we can't. The first thing the doctors have to do is X-ray it, take a look. A lot of times we can't admit people without taking X-rays. We can't discharge people without taking X-rays. So X-rays, kind of a big deal. It also works with our MRI system, but nobody gets MRIs that early. Not normally, unless I'm sure there's use cases, but normally not. CT scans, I mean everything. So the hospital was pretty much dead in the water until I got in and fixed the server. So anyway, what I'm getting to is I met the head of radiology later, just in the hallway. I walked over to the coffee shop and bought a coffee, and I ran into her on the way back. She goes, "So, what was the problem with the radiology system this morning?" I said, "Well, one of the servers was down and it required a special tool to fix it." "Oh, what was that?" I said, "Well, it required one of these." And she thought about it for a second. She goes, "What was wrong?" I said, "Needed somebody to push the power button." And I told her, "But it's okay because I have a spare." Anyway, she got the joke. She thought that was funny. My wife thought that was funny. So if any of you think that's funny, God bless you. But yeah, that application developer will be back on site today. Normally, I only see her 2 days of work because the other days she works from home. So yeah, I'm gonna show her one of these. Say this. Here's how I fix the server, and I'm gonna show you how it works. It's also good for this. Anyway. So that's my on-call story. That's me pointing the finger at her. actually add her. Now it's time to do this. So we're talking about power, inadvertently powering systems down. Sorry, that's the too long didn't read version. We got an old circuit that goes from our hospital to UC Davis. And I don't know, they decommissioned that direct line about 5 years ago. And last month or the month before, I get an email saying, hey, we've decommissioned this circuit. Yeah, no kidding. And we're wondering if we can get that router disconnected because they have a router on site. I said, sure. Just let me know when you want to coordinate it. I said, oh, yeah, okay. 2 months later, let's fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday, I get an email saying, hey, can we call you? Okay, great. They need it hooked back up, right? I said, sure, call me. Here's my phone number. Later, after lunchtime, this was like at 5 in the morning that I got their email. After lunch, he finally calls. Hey, yeah, we just want to go ahead and get that router disconnected. I said, okay, sure, I can go ahead and disconnect that for you. You want me to e-waste it? Oh, no, we need that back. Okay. It's an old router. I don't know what it is. It's an old Cisco router. It's about this thick, and it's only got 2 network cards in it, 2 power supplies. I guess that's what they wanted. I guess Cisco lasts forever. I guess I can still get firmware updates for the thing. I'm sorry, I don't remember the model number. I'm not a Cisco guy. I'm describing things like my wife. What kind of router was it? Well, it was about this thick. It's about, I'd say 6U thick. Takes up a lot of space. Glad to have it out of the rack. Anyway, yesterday I was down in the MDF, and so I was going on the back, looking very carefully, going back around to the front, looking very carefully to make sure I disconnected the right thing. So I disconnected the network cables on the front, which was actually the back. So it says the Cisco stuff we mount backwards. So in the front of the rack is actually the back of the unit. And Cisco, I guess, this particular router is made that way because the front panel also has the power connectors. So Cisco, that's pretty smart thinking. Good for you guys. So anyway, okay, disconnected the cables up front. Now I go around the back, double check again, make sure I'm disconnecting the right power cables. And then my engineering buddy Jose shows up. We talked about camping and pulling trailers and weight distribution hitches and everything in the world. So okay, got him all straightened out. Now I'm gonna go back, pull the power cables, go back around to the front, and unscrew this 4 screws and start to pull it out. Won't come out. Still power cables on it. That's weird. I thought I disconnected those. And I ran it around to the back, and well, crap. What did I disconnect? I'll show you. I'll show you the version I have over here. Not in that rack. It's in the next rack. So our network is redundant. We have double everything. Make sure there's no incriminating information on it. All right. No, I don't have any IP addresses on any of this stuff. Okay. So here, there's a little network porn for you. So what did I pull the power on? Was my other Palo Alto firewall, this guy, the 5250. Oops, there we go. Pulled the power on that guy. Oh, what does that do? Well, that's basically just the firewall that does the routing between our VRFs that run on the core. So, well, heck, my phone wasn't ringing. So that's a good sign. So I quickly plugged the power back in, unplugged the correct cables, and then we pulled the router out. Jose helped me because it was a lot heavier than I thought it was. And yeah, anyway, so we were kind of laughing at the application developer lady's little faux pas. But then after my little faux pas, it wasn't quite so funny anymore. Actually, I went to the CIO and I said, it's time to confess. I can't make fun of the application developer lady anymore because, and I'm not using her name because you know, privacy and all that. So anyway, he said, first I said, you're welcome. I said, what for? I said, for me designing such a well-crafted network. He goes, oh, well, why are you bringing this up? I said, because you didn't even know what I did just now. His face kind of dropped for a second. What did you do? Well, I accidentally pulled the power on the firewalls down in the MDF. And he goes, and that didn't do nothing? I said, no, it didn't do nothing. He says, okay, well, good. That was a good test. I said, yeah, that's what it was. It was a good test. Anyway, that's all the stories I got. Oh, I do have some IP addresses there. So I will carefully show you this after I scan this. Since you have hung around this far in the video, we'll do a little network porn here. So, and I'm going to kind of keep that side of the rack obscured until I get past the incriminating IP address. So, yeah, this is like our main core network here. Up the top, we just got some fiber patches that, have fiber in them. Right below that, these guys are, that goes to the county, so that's basically our WAN connections. That first Sienna router up there. The second Sienna is our Comcast connection to Cerner, which is our EMR provider. Below that is our the county-owned WAN router. Below that is my WAN router. So we basically stick my router into theirs, and so this is like their on-site there, right there. This is kind of like their on-site edge. This is my edge, and we connect to each other with patch cables. And so like this will be the internet, this will be the WAN, this will be a few other things that I can't remember what they are. Internet WAN, and what the heck else is up here? What else do we have? Luckily I label everything. Okay, that's ISD WAN. Oh, one goes out to our clinics. So anyway, moving on. Don't get distracted here. Right below that, this is the one I want to show you the other edge of. That's our core switch number 1. There's core switch number 2 over here. We have 3 and 4 in the basement. So we have a total of 4 cores. This guy does routing. This guy just does layer 2. But they're both core switches. So anyway, yep. So that's core switch. And down below here, this mess, that I can show you all of. This is our, we've basically got an on-premise connection into Cerner, which is our electronic medical records provider. Below that, we have our segmentation firewall. We've got our internet firewall, which will probably be going away. And then down under that, we've got yet another Comcast Sienna, which is a dedicated, a secondary dedicated internet circuit, basically, for some radiology. It's a radiology project. We have a lot of radiologists that are contracted and they work elsewhere, and so they remote in over that line. And then, oh wait, lastly, down here, very bottom, we've got our gear for the Healthcare Interpreter Network. Not that Palo Alto though. The little ASA and the Meraki. That's Healthcare Interpreter Network, which is totally managed by other people. I'm just basically their hands and feet. But the company we contract with manages all that. So there you go. That's basically, sorry about that, our network in a nutshell. Big black 7-foot nutshell. So all right, that's gone way longer than I intended. So I will say, have a great week. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell. It's cold in here. I'm trying not to sneeze. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you have any questions about my long rambling story or what you saw, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, we'll see you guys all next week.